We seriously need to talk crypto kids because there is something that's concerning, and no, it won't be about how there are only 2 days left until Bitcoin is successfully broken below multi-cycle support. That we conversated on the previous video. We need to sit down and remind ourselves on how the money that is sitting in our pocket is getting destroyed by the second from something called inflation, and why Bitcoin saves us from a problem that clearly has a net worth of over $1.27 trillion. I will go through my macro expectation just to re-emphasize my outlook thoroughly and consistently in each video that we post. I will touch up on tragically renewed geopolitical conflict within our region and end off with a cool surprise announcement that I believe I have announced before, but won't hurt to give a reminder. I'm super proud of this. I'm super excited about it. With that, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed today's update, make sure to do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, we're so close to 70,000 crypto kids, which is unbelievable. If you subscribe, I promise you that I will honor my word of posting daily. We have posted literally every single day for I don't know how many years now. We cover the Bitcoin price action, we interview legends in the space. Additionally, I have something called the Crypto Late Night Show, the first talk show in the crypto industry. You will find something that you enjoy, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and guys, destroy that like button. You've obliterated the like button as far as I remember. I can't see now, but you've obliterated the like button. Thank you so much for your continued support. It does not go without me being extremely happy and grateful about it. With that, we can commence with the support line. The support line worried many. We mentioned the support line from 2018, 2019 that held up through it held up through 2 cycles, but it's getting broken here on the 3rd cycle, the 3rd bear market. Is it concerning? Yes. Does it look like in 2 days Bitcoin will get that reversal in an enough manner to push us out of the danger zone? We've got that bullish divergence on the daily time frame. Fingers are still crossed. I don't want to say anything, but it's a subjective trend line. You can redraw this trend line to get a $1,000, $2,000, $4,000, $3,000 buffer. Like if we're at 60K, there isn't much I can do. But if we pump to like 61, 62, $63,000, amazing. You can make the case that the trend line is held. Keep a close eye on this. I'm keeping a very close eye on this. And in 2 days, in 20 hours time, I'll drop that crucial update. Overall though, I'm a believer that Bitcoin will deduce until Q4 of the midterm year. This is the midterm year. Why? We've repeated that thoroughly every single cycle with no failure. With no failure. Right? 364 days from the top to bottom would match the previous cycle and the cycle before in the sense of how long it took the bear market to start and then finish. We should be looking ideally for an October low, unless this gets broken, which would be cool. I mean, the 4-year cycle being broken makes trading and investing into Bitcoin different. It changes the mechanism, and I would love to see how crypto Twitter would react to 4-year cycles being broken and Bitcoin creating a low earlier than usual. I'm not waiting for that low end to jump into Bitcoin. That's a mistake from my viewpoint. I think buying now makes so much sense. And if you want to buy Bitcoin, don't hesitate to check out the links in the description down below to our partners who support our videos, support our shows. You can get incredible bonuses by using the links in the description, exclusive for the Crypto Kids community. Weeks gives you a fantastic bonus, and BTCC will not only give you up to a 10% deposit bonus, but they'll give you up to a 30,000 in sign-up bonus and 33% discount on trading fees. Second link in the description down below. Okay, to our primary topic, inflation, and how inflation destroys capital that sits right there in your pocket. You see, crypto kids, I was a little bit in a I was a little bit in a confused zone on how I should shift my portfolio, and let me explain to you why. So I've been all in on crypto ever since the age of 12, okay? And I thought to myself, maybe it is healthy to divest, and maybe it is healthy to buy assets in different categories and different sectors, or things like real estate or commodities. And I bought a little bit of gold and silver. I traded with that. I still keep gold, a little bit of silver, but nothing much in relative to my crypto portfolio. And I was thinking, okay, maybe I should buy real estate, but real estate comes with headaches. You have to deal with tenants, you need to deal with the maintenance of the property. There could be, God forbid, external factors which influence the price of the real estate with you not having control over it, so on and so forth. There's many factors, and I'm still thinking. Let me know your personal opinions on real estate. If you have owned, or if you do own land, or if you're a landlord, I mean, then I'm very curious on how your experience was. I'm still thinking about it. I prefer Bitcoin. Bitcoin has no headaches. I can literally transfer an X amount of Bitcoin into a hardware wallet, travel from country to country, and it's with me, and it's untaxable, and it gives me that freedom. But real estate, not so much. But it is true. Over time, real estate appreciates significantly in value. And most think that they're a genius by buying property, sitting on it, and after a few years, it's worth significantly more. People say, wow, I've timed this amazingly. It's just me and Warren Buffett. Look at how good I am. In reality, the story is different. Real estate increases, Bitcoin increases, the S&P 500 increases, commodities go up over time, full stop. Like, they just go up over time. The phenomenon is through inflation. In 1981, the government had $1.2 trillion of debt under Jimmy Carter. And then under Reagan, it went up to 2.7 trillion. Bush Sr. 4.1 trillion, Clinton 5.8 trillion. Fast forward to Trump's second presidency, $39.3 trillion. That debt is money which the government creates out of thin air. When I say thin air, I mean thin air. They click a button, either in the Treasury. Well, in the Treasury, it's more complicated, but in the Fed, they click a button, they press a button, and money just appears on a screen. They take this money, they deposit into banks, into commercial banks, lower the interest rates to make it lucrative for individuals to borrow and not keep money sitting in the bank collecting interest. Why? It's so much better if you invest it into assets than earning a 0% or 1% interest from leaving it at the bank. That's debt creation. They give it to commercial banks to give it to people so that you don't enter a recession, so that there is economic stimuli. Additionally, they print money to pay off their existing debts. America does not make enough money, doesn't make enough profit as a country or as a business to, at the end of the year, repay its debt. Instead, they opt for the easy tool of printing, debasing currency. The more you have of a currency, the more you have of anything, simultaneously, demand doesn't go up with it, its value drops. They go for the easy tool of printing money to pay away their debt. Let's be real. I mean, if you and I had the ability to also create money, monetary capital, would you work as hard? Would you take the complex pathway to pay off your debts? No, you would just print more money. Because we live in a democracy and you live through elected power, elected officials have a timeline. Whether if it's the president, 4 years to 8 years, whether if it's the Fed chair, 6 years, so on and so forth. In a democracy, you only exist within political power for a short span of time. So nobody, unfortunately, nobody really thinks about the long term future. They only care about either getting reelected or having a good economy during their time of presidency so they can market that. But yes, if you print money, you give it to people, people will get happy, things will rally, just like how crypto Bitcoin went from $10,000 to $69,000 as the government doubled the amount of cash in circulation within a year. Yeah, markets will go up. Yeah, it's going to look good. The reality is the dollar loses value. Apple increases prices. Why do they increase prices? The same dollars from 2 years ago don't equate to the same dollars today. In summary, money that you keep in your pockets, money that you keep in the bank depreciates with interests included. It depreciates every single year. Monetary debasement is faster than any interest any bank or any government pays you, which is why I like to invest. I like to invest in Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes up. Bitcoin will, in my opinion, go up for infinity, just like what gold will do, just like what the S&P 500 will do. By investing daily, monthly, as long as it is a predetermined strategy of consistent capital allocation, over time your money will compound and it will grow. Albert Einstein labeled compound interest as the most powerful law in the universe. You do get opportunities in market corrections that if you can accumulate more so than usual, then the money will compound faster. The S&P 500 will experience a major discount soon. Gold, gold and silver, I think commodities will stay quiet for some time. Bitcoin has the largest opportunity for my personal analysis. And yes, can we go lower? Sure. But at $60,000, do I believe that humanity's financial salvation is at a major discount? Yes, I believe that. It's a salvation for inflation, but also for another topic, which is what I'm going to talk to you about right after our amazing segment with Binance. Thank you so much for sponsoring Binance. A fantastic honor. We, together with Binance, want to give you an update on the reality of what is happening between Binance and Mica. Over the past few days, we've been bringing to you updates, the real story of the situation that is ongoing with Mica, Binance, and even other large exchanges. And as of today, Binance has decided to withdraw the application they had in Greece for Mica, and they will pivot to another country to pursue the license. Again, a bunch of false narratives and stories floating all across the internet. Binance remains committed to cater to European users, one of the largest markets in the world for crypto. They want to pursue it. They are just changing countries in order to, fingers crossed, get the application in a steady, fast manner. They're still committed. Your funds are SAFU if you are an EU customer of Binance and you get affected from new law changes, then Binance will contact you directly via email or via their official communication channels. Make sure you're staying up to date with it. Don't worry, funds are SAFU, funds are safe. Affected people only will get official communication sent to them, and you can take action accordingly. But that is the update from Binance. Thank you, Binance, for sponsoring, and it's a pleasure to share the reality and not fall into fear-mongering traps. Okay, what is the second reason? What is the second reason for Bitcoin being humanity's only financial salvation? If you're a non-crypto native person, if you start spewing these words on the dinner table with your family on Thanksgiving or during a get-together, they will look weirdly at you. What do you mean Bitcoin is humanity's financial salvation? Well, Bitcoin is the only tool in this world that lets you take your money from country A to country B to country C to country D, no taxes, in your pocket, is with you at all times, not in the custody of a bank, a third party, in your own full custody, meaning you actually own the asset. When you put money into the bank, that money doesn't exist. Like, it's on a screen, but the bank takes that money and puts it into other things and then is able to pay you that interest from them putting your money to work. Hypothetically, if every single individual, every single customer of bank B, I don't want to give any names, were to go to that bank and say, hey, I want my money right now, they wouldn't be able to give it to them. They wouldn't be able to give it to you. They can't. That's called a bank run. It's happened multiple times in history. The money you put into the bank is not really there. Whereas with Bitcoin, it is there and it's in your full custody if that crypto is kept in a hardware wallet. It's the only financial tool without double spend that allows you to give ownership, full ownership of your money. Bitcoin can be used by individuals who may have opposing political beliefs to, let's say, large institutions, may live in a certain country which other countries may not like, may be under the age of 18. Like, you can use Bitcoin, you can have your rights, your human right to finance through this revolutionary tool. No matter your beliefs, no matter the country you live in, you get fair and just access to the financial system, which will lift billions out of poverty. Escaping poverty starts with investing, starts with financial literacy, and having access to receiving payment, sending money. Billions of people are unbanked. Bitcoin solves this. It's the only tool in the world that is not controlled by a single entity that, you can just access finance. That's it. That's it. Bitcoin is worth, that functionality is worth way more than 1.27 trillion. It's worth tens and tens of trillions of dollars. Nonetheless, I see it as cheap. I think decentralized exchanges over time will grow. They support that function. Right now, I'm keeping all money outside of DEXs still. The US government re-enabled the launch of Mythos from Anthropic. Yeah, it's quite scary, but I hope it was helpful. I hope this video was helpful. I just know that sometimes we need a reminder on why we're in this, especially in the bear market. You forget why Bitcoin is important. When Bitcoin is at $126,000, it's super easy to remember why you're in Bitcoin. But in the bear market, you tend to forget. And that was the whole point of today's video. If you enjoyed it, please destroy that like button. It will be somewhere here. Will be very much appreciated. Final topic before calling it an evening or day, depending on, of course, when you're consuming the content itself. Very unfortunately, geopolitical conflict has began again. The Memorandum of Understanding was already sadly breached, but it is further breached. Iran seems to have attacked, based off of what I read from the sources available to the public, Iran may have attacked vessels in the Strait of Hormuz, which then, according to BBC, which then brought the US to retaliate. So the US actually conducted strikes this morning, and Iran is, and Iran retaliated upon that retaliation. So it's an ugly looking scenario, not good for anyone as humanity. But since we're a crypto-centric channel, it's not good for Bitcoin either. Could push some downwards pressure with Monday's open. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Oh, and guys, I'll be speaking in Miami this November with the likes of Ben Cowan, which I'm super honored. It's Ben Cowan's first ever crypto conference. I'll be there. It will be taking place in the JW Marriott. I stayed in the Marriott, fantastic hotel. Go to benjamincohen.com, check out the conference details. It's very early, so you have discounted pricing if you wish to attend. Later on, I probably assume it'll get more expensive. So if you want to go to Miami in November, great excuse. Check the conference out. It will be amazing. Thank you all. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday/Sunday, and we'll talk soon. Take care, and as always, bye-bye.